Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So this is the DBMS lecture series. So in the last lecture we have seen about the normalization and the types of normalization. So in this video we are going to talk about the denormalization. So let me write down the topic name. So the topic is denormalization. So let's define the denormalization first. So denormalization is the process of introducing redundancy into a database design for the sake of performance. So as we know, as the name suggests, nor it is the opposite of the normalization. So it is used when query performance is more important than the avoiding redundancy. Okay. So let me write down its definition. So yeah, this is the definition for the denormalization. So let's talk about some examples. So in the normalization design, what we are doing, we are suppose we have a table of order and customer details. So we are separating the order and customer are stored in the separate table. Okay. So to display order details with customer names, we are using the join operation. So join is required in the normalization. But in denormalization, customer name is directly stored in the order table. So in this we are avoiding the join operation. So I have written the example also. So in the normalized design, the order and customer are stored in the separate table. Okay. So to display the order details with customer name, we are using the join operation. So in the denormalization, customer name is directly stored in the order table for avoiding the joins. Okay. So this is about the denormalization. So now we will see some advantage and disadvantage of denormalization. So if we talk about the advantage of denormalization, so it is faster query performance and it reduces the number of join and it simplifies reporting. Okay, so faster query performance means if you will in the normalization, what generally happens, you have the separate table for each information, and when you want to retrieve the data, then you have to perform the join operation and then you are retrieving it. So in the normalization, so in that, if you are writing the query, so it is taking the longer time to be execute. So in this denormalization, it is a faster query performance. Means if you will write the query for retrieving the data, it not take more time to retrieve it because we have seen like in this all the details are filled into the same table. So no joins are required in denormalization. So the second advantage is that only what I have told now. So it reduce number of joins, and the third one is simplifies reporting. Okay. So if there is some advantage, some disadvantage is also be there. So let's talk about the disadvantage now. So let me write it. Let me write down the disadvantage. Then we will explain one by one. Yeah. So these are some disadvantage. So first one is increased redundancy. So it is obvious like when you will keep all the details in the same table, so some data might be occur twice. So the redundancy will increase. So the second one is data anomaly may occur, and the third point is like update operation become costly. Okay. So let's talk about the next topic, which is indexing. So till now we have discussed the denormalization and its advantage and some disadvantage. So the next concept come in this is indexing. So indexing is a data structure that improves the speed of the retrieval in a table at the cost of extra space and slower write operation. So for example, Indexes are like the index at the back of a book. So they help you to find the data quickly. So this is how indexes work. So let's see the types of indexing. So generally there are five types. So the first one is primary index. So it is automatically created on the primary key. So when you are writing like as a constraint like primary key, so wait a minute. Like if for a constraint, if you are writing like primary key, then the primary index is already created there. Okay. So next one is unique index. So unique index is ensure like all value in the index and column should be unique. Okay. So the third one is composite index. So it is created a multiple columns. So if there is multiple columns are there, so it is created on the multiple columns only. And the fourth one is clustered index. So it is a sort or and it is a sort and a store row physically in the table. Only one allow per table. Okay. So the last one is non-clustered index. So it means like it is stored pointed to the data instead of rearranging the table. Okay, so I hope I am clear with my point. So let me write down the all types of indexing. Okay, so here I have written the all the types. So next we will see the SQL command for the indexing. So for creating an index, we are writing like create index and index name on the which table we are going to perform. So let me write it down first so it will be easier to understand for you guys. Perfect. So the first one is like for creating an index. So as I have told you, like we are writing something this create index value like index name, and on the student table we are going to perform in the name column or name attribute. Okay. So on the name attribute we are going to create the index, and the second line is for the creating a unique index. So just nothing but we have to write here like unique and it will create the unique index. So in the student table the roll number should be unique for each and every student, correct now? So for this we are using the unique index so that it will create the roll number as a unique. Okay. So the next one is like for dropping an index. So we have to do nothing, just we have to write a command like drop index and index name. So it will drop that index. Okay. So this is how we are writing the SQL commands for the indexing. So let's do a quick comparison between normalization and denormalization and indexing. So if we will talk about the comparison, so the purpose of normalization is to remove redundancy and ensure consistency, while denormalization focus on improving the performance of the query, and indexing is focus on the speed up the data retrieval. So the next thing is about the storage. Normalization is save the storage, and the denormalization is increase storage, and the indexing requires the extra storage. Okay. And the performance, if we talk about the performance of normalization, it is a slower query because we are using the joins. So in joins, as you have remember, like we have to find out the cross product or Cartesian product, and then we are finding the data. So that's because it gets slower. And if we talk about the denormalization, it is faster query, and because the number of join is almost a zero or some one or two fewer joins is there in this denormalization. But in indexing, it is faster read because if you want to read the data, so only you have to give the index and then it will give you the value. but it is a slower ride. Okay. So that's all about the today's video. So we have seen the denormalization and indexing concept and the types of indexing. So in the next lecture, we will enter a new concept like transaction management. So तब तक के लिए keep learning and keep exploring. And if you guys really like this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe my YouTube channel so that I can create some more exciting content for you. So तब तक के लिए thank you and keep learning and keep exploring.